What is up everyone, Craig here, your Elite Gaming Junkie, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing Splatoon 2 for the Nintendo Switch. Splatoon 2 has taken to a new console since the original debuted on the Wii U back in May 2015, and has added a bit more to its offerings. But does it have enough to stand out from the original? That's what we're going to find out in today's video. I'm going to be going over all of the major changes, additions, pros and cons, alongside some gameplay I've captured, and give my overall thoughts on this title at the end of the video. Alright guys, first thing we're going to be taking a look at is going to be the single player campaign. They call it a campaign. To me it's a little bit more like kind of a playground, if you will, to experiment with the different game mechanics, and I really kind of wouldn't have known where to go, which brings me to one of my first things I really think is a con in the lack of direction overall in some of the areas and things that you can do. I actually stumbled upon how to get here after finding out that it did indeed have a single player just by roaming the main plaza and going down into that drain. But yeah, overall the single player again isn't nothing too deep. It's more just to get familiar with the mechanics itself, kind of have some different scenarios. As you can see, there is different portals that will actually launch you to different sections of the single player. I could not get into this one, so you'll actually see me go off and go to the one in the fenced off cage over there. There is some enemies that you encounter, nothing like really like boss wise that I've seen as of yet, maybe further on. I just haven't really came across one myself. So we're going to be transported off here, and this is going to be the second section. I actually completed the first one. This one seems to be, knowing that I've played it already, a little bit more advanced. There is some techniques where you're doing a lot of like traveling up the walls and maneuvering differently and kind of taking on enemies that are like shielded and have to think of how to actually conquer and defeat them. It's pretty cool. It does help. I believe some of the techniques will definitely help you carry over into the multiplayer, which we'll get to in a bit. So yeah, this is pretty much it. I will let this run for a little bit so you can have take a look at it and see for yourself. I wanted to jump back in real quick and just say that the overall sound design in the game too is really kind of quirky and fun. As you can hear, everything from like the ink splatters as far as the sound effects to the actual game soundtrack itself. It doesn't really shine through too much in the single player, but the songs are super catchy in the multiplayer, as you'll hear in a bit. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base on that and say that I really did enjoy those. And now we're actually moving on to the multiplayer, kind of the meat of the game, what a lot of people are going to be going to. This is called Turf Wars. It is a 4v4 competitive mode where you're actually trying to spread the most of your ink color to cover the opposing enemy's ink color that they have. So a lot of cool scenarios. They have maps that actually cycle in, I believe, every 2 hours. You'll get 2 new maps, and it will actually alert you and let you know when the maps have changed, which is kind of nice. And I do like that aspect. The only thing, as far as another small con that I don't like in the lobbies, you're just kind of sitting there. You can't really do anything to like change your loadout or anything. You're basically just staring at a static screen hopefully with the software update. I know a lot of other people have been wanting to have some interaction in the downtime. But the multiplayer, this is what keeps me coming back. I really enjoyed it the first time around. They've seemed to improve the mechanics. The gameplay itself is a lot of fun. Once you get the hang of it, it's kind of easy to pick up and hard to put down. I actually found myself right out of the box. I seen it was defaulted to the one axis for motion controls, and I turned it off just because in my head I kind of had it to where I wanted to use just twin analog sticks. But actually, after watching a video and seeing the performance that you can actually get with the motion on, I actually switched it back and have been using it like that ever since. And I found it a lot more easier to actually lock on, especially to enemy players, and just overall helping cover with the ink itself. So at the end of each match, you actually have these scorecards that you can take a look at and see your performance. You do gain XP for your overall level, and also you gain currency, which is cash, which you can actually come back to the lobby and spend in stores like the one I'm walking into. One thing that's pretty cool, you can actually cycle between the different stores without actually walking back out. All of the clothes and shoes and face wear and headwear actually have buffs that will actually help you in the matches. I did find that you can actually say you liked a certain piece of equipment but didn't like the kind of active passive ability on it. You can actually wipe and kind of re-roll to see what you can get. So this brings us to a new mode. This is the Salmon Run. This is kind of like Horde mode. A lot of other games have adapted it into their game itself. This is going to be Nintendo's take on it in Splatoon 2. Again, you're paired up with 4 people to play alongside, well, 4 total. And basically it's just wave after wave while you're trying to collect these eggs and carry them back to this basket that's on the map. Every once in a while you'll get some bigger enemy types like the one you're seeing now, along with just smaller minion type ones, and also occasionally there is some different bosses. What's really nice that I liked, the first time you actually enter this mode, it actually goes through all the boss types with you and kind of gives you a little bit of insight on how to defeat each one of them, so you're not going into it like completely blind, which is pretty nice. This mode is definitely a welcome addition. Just adds to the overall fun and kind of charm of Nintendo's take on what they have here. Really enjoy it overall. Another thing I really enjoy too is the just kind of overall art style. It's very unique. I know in the single player, the ink actually even has a little bit of a more of a glitter effect to it. In this mode and multiplayer, it is absent. I'm not sure if it's like a technical feat to where just performance-wise they can't get it in to actually, you know, maintain the specs that they want to currently run at. But as we enter wave 2 here, I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and just go ahead and let you check out some of the gameplay I've captured. by the way, guys, if you enjoyed the video and liked it and found it informative, make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. And I'm going to be wrapping up this video, and thanks for watching. Alright guys, so to wrap things up, I'm just going to touch base on a few different categories and kind of put a close to the video. The sound design in the game, thought it was very well done. Everything from the little things like the sound effects to the actual musical score, especially in the multiplayer maps, is very catchy and satisfying. The graphics overall, I thought looked really good, especially while it's in the TV mode in the dock. Just has really decent lighting and just overall textures look really good. The gameplay itself, thought was very solid. I thought it was very improved over the first one. We'll definitely continue to play with the motion controls for the level of accuracy. I'm starting to really get the hang of it. The story was kind of lackluster. I mean, I think it's just, like I said, kind of to get the mechanics, kind of get a feel for the game, and before you jump into the multiplayer, kind of the meat of the actual game. So definitely a lot of replay value. If you're new to the series, without a doubt, I would suggest this. Definitely overall, I would say go out and buy it. You won't be disappointed. As always, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one.